Good afternoon. My name is Ashlyn Burns, and I'll be presenting my written analysis of cognitive reappraisal, which is reframing our perception of stress. I'll be sharing what I learned from Jameson, Nock, and Mendez's Mind Over Matter study from 2012 and applying how cognitive reappraisal can help students like us handle stress more efficiently. So, most of us know how stressful college can be, obviously. Studies show that about 81% of students report academic burnout, and that constant pressure hurts our focus and motivation. The Mind Over Matter study explored whether simply rethinking stress could help with the statistic, but my core message today is this: stress really isn't the enemy, it's energy that you can use. When we reframe stress as helpful, we can turn anxiety into focus and performance, alleviating most of the pressures we put on our mind and body as students. The researchers asked a simple question, which was, can our mindset improve how we respond to stress? To answer this, they recruited 50 healthy young adults, which were half men and half women, and randomly assigned them to one of three groups. One group was told to reappraise stress as helpful. Another group was told to ignore the stress by looking at an X on the wall instead of at their instructors or evaluators. And a control group got no special instruction. So everyone then gave a timed speech and did mental math, which I could never do, in front of evaluators while their cardiovascular output, total peripheral resistance, and attention were measured. Other things were recorded, but these stats will be our main focus. So what we are comparing in these groups is if our bodies respond differently to stress when we're told to think positively, told to ignore it, or to just embrace it with no guidance. Physiologically, their results were pretty significant. The reappraisal group showed higher cardiac output, which really just means that their hearts pump blood more efficiently, and they had lower total peripheral resistance, meaning that they had less stress on their vasoconstriction, meaning better blood flow. That combination reflects a healthy challenge response instead of a threat response, which was identified in the ignore and control groups. The ignore and control groups stayed tense, showing that mindset alone can shift the body from panic to performance. To put this into perspective, people who were able to view their stress as helpful showed about an 81% better cardiovascular response compared to the group that just ignored their stress. Cognitively, reappraisal made a huge difference as well. These participants made fewer mistakes on the emotional Stroop task and paid less attention to negative words. They also rated themselves as more confident and better able to handle their tasks, unlike those who tried to ignore stress, who became more distracted. In fact, their attentional bias was significantly less than the control group and reappraisal group, whose ability to stay focused improved by 77%. Reappraising stress didn't remove pressure, it just helped the participants to think clearly in a time of mental stress and strain. Instead of letting their stress get the best of them, they improved their focus and attention using stress to their advantage. I know I have experienced this 100% firsthand. After failing my very first chemistry exam, I was so unbelievably terrified of my second one. My heart was racing, my palms were sweaty, I couldn't focus, all of the above aches and pains of stress and anxiety. I think I remember getting it so bad that I got sick, or at least just nauseous. Anyways, aside from chemistry sucking, before the next test, I reminded myself that those sensations meant that my body was preparing me to perform, not to panic. Viewing stress as energy instead of danger response helped me to stay calmer and concentrate much better in a time crunch. I plan on keeping track of how positive stress reappraisal can affect my focus on future exams as well. Just remember that failure is a learning experience and it happens to everyone, so just grow from it. In the short term, I'll keep using reappraisal before exams. This will include recognizing my nerves when they occur, breathing deeply, and telling myself that stress shows that I'm ready and I've worked hard to get to where I'm at. Long term, this mindset will help to build confidence and resilience for bigger challenges like job interviews or public speaking, and just overall benefit your mind and body. Stress can affect our health in so many ways, and learning to alleviate that will help us in a multitude of areas in the future. The key takeaway is simple. Stress is natural, but your mindset decides the outcome. Understanding that you're human is the very first step in realizing that first, stress is natural, but the way you handle it makes all the difference. When we see stress as a signal of motivation, not fear, we're able to turn pressure into power.